Hey guys, and welcome to the Command Tower, where we make EDH deck decks. If you enjoyed these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. But before we start, I have to say, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It means a lot, especially since we're a small YouTube channel. It just shows us that we can keep making videos and you guys will keep watching them. So, our commander is Saheeli the Gifted. She has a starting loyalty of 4, and if you +1, you create a 1/1 servo artifact creature token. And if you do different +1, the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control as you cast it. If you -7, for each artifact you control, create a token as a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste. Exile those tokens at the beginning of next end step. And it says Saheeli the Gifted can be your commander. So basically, we're going to play a lot of artifacts, then we're going to make our spells cost less with her other ability, and we're going to play really big spells for not a lot of mana. The total price of this deck is $35.34, and this is according to TCG Player, and does not include lands. So let's get right into the deck. First off, we got Ramp. Soul Ring, taps for 2 colors. Prismatic Lens, taps for colorless. If you pay 1, tap it, add 1 mana of your color. Is it Signet? Pay 1 and tap it, add Is it colors. Sky Diamond, enters battlefield tapped and taps for blue. Fire Diamond, enters battlefield tapped and taps for red. Skyclave Relic, hits kicker for 3. Indestructible, when it enters the battlefield, it is kicked. Create 2 tapped tokens that are copies of it, and it taps for 1 mana of your color. Urgolem's Eye, taps for 2 generic. Sisay's Ring, taps for 2 colorless. And Treestone Hejon, taps for 3 colorless. If you pay 3 and tap and sacrifice it, you draw 3 cards. Coveted Jewel, when it enters battlefield, draw 3 cards and taps for 3 mana of any 1 color. Whenever 1 or more creatures an opponent controls attack you and aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of Coveted Jewel, and they untap it. Everflowing Chalice has multi-kicker for 2, and enters battlefield with a charge counter on it for each time it is kicked. And if you tap it, you add a generic for each charge counter on it. National Cornucopia enters battlefield with X charge counters on it, and you tap, choose a color, add 1 mana of that color for each charge counter on it. Then we got some cards that can help you get more artifacts onto the battlefield or into your hand. Saheeli's Directive has Improvise. Reveal the top X cards in your library. You can put any number of artifact cards with converted by X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put on the battlefield into your graveyard. Jar of Eyeballs. Whenever a creature you control dies, do eyeball counters on it. Pay 3, tap it, remove all eyeball counters, and you scry X pretty much, where X is the number of eyeball counters removed. The Antiquities War. It's a saga. And the first 2 parts are look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can put an artifact from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. And the really good part is the third part. It says artifacts you control become artifact creatures with base power and toughness 5/5 until end of turn. This could just kill somebody or multiple people if you got enough artifacts, which is overall a really good card. Then we got some cards that can get more artifacts onto the battlefield. Golem Foundry. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, put a charge counter on it. Remove 3 charge counters, make a 3/3 artifact. Charging Sphinx is Flying. Whenever an artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature token with Flying. Mirror Besiege. Enters battlefield, you use Mirror Phyrexian. Mirror whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 artifact creature. Phyrexian. During your end step, you can draw a card and then discard a card. Then if there are 15 or more artifact cards in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. So you can just make someone lose right there. Saheeli's Sublime Artificer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 servo artifact creature token. So -2, a target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn, except it's an artifact addition to its other types. Mishra's Self-Replicator. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you can pay a generic. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Mishra's Self-Replicator. Mirror Works. Whenever another non-token artifact creature, well, it doesn't have to be a creature, enters battlefield under your control, you can pay 2. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that artifact. Brutal Clad. Creature tokens you control have haste. If you do combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue mirror artifact creature token. Then you can choose a token you control. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. And Thopter Assembly. Flying. At the beginning of upkeep, if you control no Thopters other than Thopter Assembly, return to your hand and make 5 1/1 Thopters with Flying. Masterful Replication. Choose 1. Create 2 of the 3/3 Golem artifact creature tokens. Or, what you're probably going to do, choose target artifact you control. Each other artifact you control becomes a copy of that artifact on turn. This can provide you with a lot of value because there's pretty strong artifacts in this deck, and making all your artifacts a copy of that could just win you the game right there. Thopter Engineer. When enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Artifact creatures you control have haste. And Whirler Rogue. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. If you tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, target creature can't be blocked this turn. This is good because you're going to have a lot of big creatures to get it out with a Saheeli very early. Then you can make unblockable and deal a bunch of damage. Now, since Saheeli can make your spells cheaper, we're going to have some big spells that can do a lot of damage. Mirror Battlesphere. When it enters battlefield, create 4 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature tokens. When it attacks, you can tap X untap mirror you control. If you deal, it gets +X+0 till on a turn. Deals X damage to that player or planeswalker it's attacking. Ancient Stone Idol. Flash. Costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature. It's Trample. When it dies, create a 6/12 colorless construct artifact creature token with Trample. Metalwork Colossus. Costs X less to cast, where X is the total converted mana cost of non-creature artifacts you control. If you sacrifice 2 artifacts, return Metalwork Colossus from your graveyard to your hand. Banefire. Deals X damage to any target. If X is 5 more, it can't be countered and the damage can't be prevented. Mass Manipulation. Gain control of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. This is really good because if you make it a lot cheaper, you can gain control of a ton of creatures. Hellkite Igniter. One of the best cards in the deck in my opinion. Flying, haste. If you pay 2, it gets +X+0 until end of turn, or X number of artifacts you control. Now you only have to do that ability a couple times, and it already gets really big, and if someone doesn't have any flying, they're probably just going to die right there. Then we got some cards that benefit off you having artifacts. Artificer's Assistant, flying. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you scry 1. Reckless Fireweaver. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Prototype Portal. Imprint. When it enters the battlefield, you can exile an artifact card from your hand. Pay X, tap it, create a tokenless copy of the exiled card. X has to be the converted mana cost of that card. Master of Ethereum. Power and toughness equal to the number of artifacts you control. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Darksteel Juggernaut. Indestructible. Its power and toughness equal to the number of artifacts you control. It attacks each combat fable. Chief of the Foundry. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Vidalcan Humiliator. Metalcraft. When it attacks, if you control 3 or more artifacts, creatures your opponents control lose all abilities, have base power toughness 1/1 till end of turn. Then Foundry Inspector. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Then we got card draw. Quicksmith Genius. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you can discard a card and you can draw a card. Joyra. Weatherlight Captain. Whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. Psy Master Thopterist. When you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 Thopter with flying. If you pay 2, sacrifice 2 artifacts, draw a card. Sunset Pyramid. Enters the battlefield with 3 brick counters on it. Pay 2, tap it, remove a brick counter from it, draw a card. Or you can pay 2 and tap to scry 1. Trigon of Thought. Enters the battlefield with 3 charge counters on it. Pay 2, tap it, put a charge counter on it. You can pay 2 and tap it to remove a charge counter to draw a card. Carnage Altar. You can pay 3, sacrifice a creature, draw a card. And that's good because you just have a ton of tiny artifact creatures. Shimmer Dragon. Flying. As long as you control 4 more artifacts, it's hexproof. And you can tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, draw a card, which is really good. Howling Golem. When it attacks or blocks, each player draws a card. Infiltration Lens. When an equipped creature becomes blocked by a creature, you can draw 2 cards. Trading Post. Does a bunch of stuff, but the best part is tap and pay 1, sacrifice an artifact, draw a card. Staff of Nin. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card, and you tap it, deals 1 damage to any target. Folio Fancies. Players have no maximum hand size. If you pay 2x and tap it, each player draws X cards. If you pay 3, each opponent puts a number of cards equal number of cards in their hand from the top of their library into their graveyard. And then we got Removal. Override. Counter target spell unless the controller pays 1 for each artifact you control. Stoic Rebuttal. It costs 1 less to cast if you control 3 or more artifacts and you counter a spell. Dissolve. Counter target spell and scry 1. Is it Charm? Choose 1. Counter target non-creature spell unless the controller pays 2. or it deals 2 damage to target creature, or you can draw 2 cards or discard 2 cards. Galvanic Blast deals 2 damage to your target, and deals 4 damage instead if you control 3 or more artifacts. Welding Sparks deals X damage to target creature, where X is 3 plus the number of artifacts you control. Fireball deals X damage divided evenly, rounded down, among any number of target creatures and or players. You cost 1 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Nevinyrral's Disc, when it enters battlefield taps, and you pay 1, tap it, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Starstorm deals X damage to each creature and has cycling for 3. And then Meteor Golem enters battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. Lastly, we've got lands. Izzet Guildgate enters battlefield tapped and taps for Izzet. Handland Lake is the same, and Swiftwater Cliffs is the same when you gain a life. Izzet Boilerworks enters battlefield tapped and enters battlefield, return land you control to its owner's hand. Taps for both of Izzet colors. Temple of Epiphany enters battlefield tapped, and when it enters battlefield you scry 1, it taps for Izzet colors. You got 15 mountains and 17 islands. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.